Good afternoon and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers, or CACRAO, and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can utilize the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening through the CACRAO StriveScan partnership, so we encourage you to check out all the list of opportunities on the CACRAO website at cacrao.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website. Once again, cacrao.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenter so that he can begin his session.
Hey everybody, my name is David. I'm the admissions counselor here at Presbyterian College in the beautiful Clinton, South Carolina, where the T is sweet and silent, as we like to say. So I will be doing my best to answer the Q&A questions as we go through, but I will most likely leave it up to the last couple minutes to address any questions. Don't hesitate to ask the difficult questions. You guys are applying to college, so if there's something on your mind that's concerning to you, feel free to let me know. I do have a brief presentation that's going to describe who we are here at PC and what we can offer you. All right, so at PC, we are the Blue Hose, and if you're like me, your first question was, what is a Blue Hose? Quick story, I'm from Virginia, and when I moved to South Carolina, I came around PC and I was thinking, what the heck is a blue hose? And in my mind, I went to like a blue garden hose. That's what I was imagining in my head. Turns out I was wrong. It's actually a reference to the high blue stockings our sports journalists wrote about us in the early 1900s. So in the sports articles in the newspapers, they would call us the blue stockings. And we realized that that didn't exactly strike fear into our opponents. So we changed it up a little bit. We became the Blue Hose. So it's a little bit more fierce. And we are Scottish warriors. This is Scotsman, our mascot. There's a huge Scottish heritage here at PC. You don't need to be Scottish and you don't need to be Presbyterian to go to PC, but the Scottish heritage is a significant part of our culture here. We're a pretty small school. We have about 1,300 students in the undergrad and graduate programs. About 150, 200-ish are graduate students. So a little bit over 1,100 students are here in undergrad. And even though we're a small school, we stretch far and wide. We're in 35 different states, 12 different countries, which is pretty big for a small school. We have alumni all over the globe. And when you go to a small school and you meet somebody out there in your career, or somewhere else, you have this instant connection because you guys both went to PC or you both went to a small school that you just don't have when you went to a bigger school. So I went to a larger school in Virginia, a public university, about 50,000 students enrolled in the program there. And if I meet somebody who went to that college out there in the world, it's not really a big deal because there's a ton of students who went there. And, you know, it's easy to get lost in the crowd. But at PC and other small schools, there's a shared culture, a shared experience, and you're part of a community. We're a pretty small school, like I said, so small, in fact, that our average class size is 15 students. This is really when you're just a freshman and sophomore. When you're a junior and a senior at PC, your class sizes are going to be even smaller. I'm talking like 4 or 5 students in the classroom at a time. There's a couple benefits to this that you might imagine. The first one being, obviously, you get more one-on-one attention from your professor. Another thing that kind of branches off that is that you get to know your professor and they get to know you. And if you don't already know this from high school, when you know your teacher and they know you, it's a lot harder for them to give you bad grades. They're going to work with you if you turn in your work that's not your best. So say you're usually an A student and you turn in like a C+B paper, your professor at PC is going to pull you aside and say, hey, this wasn't your best work. What's going on? Is there something going on outside of the class that's affecting your grade? You know, let's explore how to make this grade go up. And then a couple other things that you can benefit from small class sizes is you get to have more collaboration with your classmates. PC's student to faculty ratio is 12:1. And the really important thing about our faculty here at PC is that everybody has their PhD and they're your professor. They're not here to do research or have a graduate student teach the class all year. At PC, no classes are taught by graduate students. You're paying for the best education. You're going to get the best education from the best faculty. So all year, faculty teach the class. They're your professor. They're here to teach. That's their job. They're not here for anything else. So PC offers a ton of different majors and programs, and we are a private school. So when you see this list, you might not see everything you want. You might not see something you want, but that doesn't mean we don't have it. It might just live in another department. So for example, criminal justice is not on this list, but we do have a criminal justice program that's located in the pre-law and political science departments. A couple of our most popular majors are business. We have a concentration in that department called data analytics that we started last year. So if you're into statistics and you're into computers and you want to do a business major, that might be something you're interested in. We also have a lot of pre-professional pathways. So we have a pre-med pathway. We have 95% acceptance rate into med school, pre-law, pre-pharmacy, pre-theological, pre-vet, teacher education. And then we also have a dual degree engineering program. How that works is you do 3 years at PC for undergrad, and then you leave here and you go to another school that we partner with for 2 years. Those schools are Auburn, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Clemson, South Carolina. And you're guaranteed acceptance into those schools after you finish your 3 years at PC. So what you end up with is you end up with a physics degree from PC and then an engineering degree from that other institution. It is 5 years in college, but you get 2 huge degrees. So it's definitely more bang for your buck. And if you're interested in engineering, I encourage you to reach out and inquire more about it. And then we have a lot of other popular majors. We have psychology, that's a big one, foreign language, English, econ, computer science, just to name a few. But we are a huge health science school as well here at PC, even though we're a liberal arts college. A couple graduate programs you might be interested in pursuing after you finish your bachelor's degree. We have a pharmacy school on campus that's 4-year doctorate degree. There is an early entry pathway for that where you do 2 years in undergrad or 3 years in undergrad. So it's the only graduate school we offer where you don't need your bachelor's degree. We have a PA school on campus for those of you interested in not necessarily nursing and not necessarily going to med school and being a doctor. Physician assistant might be something you're interested in. That's a 2-year master's degree, 1 year in the classroom, 1 year out there in the field. We started this program last fall, so it's all really brand new, and we have a lot of state-of-the-art equipment. And then we have an OT school, occupational therapy. That's a 3-year master's degree targeted towards students who are interested in psychology. So if you have your bachelor's degree in psychology, that might be something you're interested in. So we have 99% of our students live on campus all 4 years. And we want our students to live on campus all 4 years. There's a couple benefits to that. Number one, you're more invested in your education. You have all the resources available to you in that support network to help you out. And two, it encourages you to get involved outside of the classroom in student organizations and activities, which has proven that you are a more successful college student when you engage in those activities. We have $35 million renovated, used for renovations around campus. And a couple of those things are these new senior apartments. So these are 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, common room. These are the newest buildings on campus. Here's what they look like. So they're sort of the crown jewel of campus right now. And we're looking to expand housing in the future years. A couple of other renovations were the new student center with cafeteria, kind of a hangout area. There's pool tables in there. There's also a gym upstairs that's new. We renovated a couple academic buildings as well. And we also renovated an old dorm to turn it into the OT school. But there's lots of new stuff coming to PC, and we're really, really excited to be growing over the years. So it's a good time to be a Blue Hose. So next, I have a video showing you some of the housing options here at PC. I hope you enjoy it. It's styled in the way that MTV Cribs used to air on MTV, where they showed celebrity houses, and you got to kind of tour their places and see all their cool stuff. So we made PC Cribs. So I hope you enjoy.
What's up, fam? This is Jerry Duncan, a senior here at Presbyterian College, and welcome to PC Cribs. The first building we're going to check out is Smythe, so follow me. Katie, Cassie, hey, you're on PC Cribs. Can we come in? Awesome. So Smythe is a hall-style bathroom. You can have your bedroom in there. You can have your living room in here. Nice little TV, futon, work areas. They got everything going. Kitchen, which I'll take some of these myself. Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it. Now we're going to Georgia. This is Georgia Hall. This is one of my favorite places that I lived at on campus. I lived here my freshman year, and now you're about to check it out. Let's go. This was one of my favorite places because you have the opportunity to customize your experience. This is a suite style, so you share your bathroom with the person next door, which is great because you don't have to worry about a hall bathroom. I really love this space and how it's so customizable, and oh my Lord, this is a great couch. Now, one of my friends just told me we have some free Chick-fil-A biscuits in here, so we're going to take a quick break and get us a biscuit. Ooh, thank you so much.
So welcome.
So the last place we're going to go is the newest apartments. They're so new, they don't even have a name yet. So follow me. Man, this biscuit is good. This is actually my junior year roommate, so I know him very well and all these guys, so I'm not even gonna knock. What's up, baby? So one of the coolest things about these new apartments is that you have a full-size kitchen. You have space to wiggle around. You can put a little TV right there. And if you look in here, you have the couches. You have the ability to do anything that you want to do and decorate it just like it's home. So I love this place so much. And check this out. They have a projector and a TV in their room. Now we're at the Townhouses, which are right down the road by the football stadium. So let's check these out. This is a really nice area because it gives you that feel of an apartment style. You have a nice big living room, kitchen, and plus 3 to 4 bedrooms upstairs. Thank you so much for tuning in to PC Cribs. My name is Jerry Duncan, and thank y'all so much for coming on this tour with us. Be blessed, be safe.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that. It's one of my more favorite things that our marketing team has done here recently. If you like Guy Fieri and diners, drive-ins, and dives, there's also a great parody video that our team has made about here in the city of Clinton and where the good eats are that I think is hilarious. It's on our website if you want to check it out. But moving on, we got, just like in high school, there's organizations and programs for you run by students at the college level. So you have everything from, everything you expect at a college, like in high school. You got student government, you've got service clubs, you got religious clubs, you've got pre-professional clubs, and then you got intramural sports as well that are a lot of fun. So 90% of our students are active in sports or other student organizations. And if there's a club that you are interested in, or you participate in at your high school that isn't at PC, we encourage you to start that club. All you need is 2 other students and a faculty member to be the founding members. And it could be anything from like a club for your major to something goofy. We had a student start an Uno card game club a couple of years ago. That's called Uno at Ocho. They meet every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and there's like 250 students signed up for that club. So something as silly as that, or a little more serious, you're encouraged to start that at PC. So we have 38% of our students participate in Greek life. There's 7 fraternities, 3 sororities. PC's motto is "While we live, we serve." So community service and fundraising and philanthropy is already a huge part of our culture here at PC. And our Greek organizations take that to the next level. Over the summer, we had a couple of our fraternities do a virtual food drive for the county of Lawrence here in South Carolina. That's where Clinton is. It's where PC resides. And they raised like $5,000 for the food bank, just doing a virtual food drive over Zoom, which was amazing. And so they do a lot of good stuff, and we're super proud of them. So if you're interested in Greek life, it's a little bit bigger here than some other schools. 38% is above average, I would say. But you don't need to be in Greek life to have a good time at PC, to meet people and participate in organizations. It's just something a little bit extra if you're interested. This is my favorite thing about Presbyterian College. We make it mandatory for you to do an internship, a study abroad, or a research study before you graduate. It's up to you to decide which one you want to do and when, but you must do one of these. And honestly, these are things that you should be doing at every college you go to, but we make it mandatory, so it's a little bit easier for you to make that decision. So you can do an internship depending on your major. You could do a study abroad. Any major is welcome to do that. We do study abroads over spring break and winter breaks. And then also during the month of May, there's a condensed semester you might have heard of before called Maymester. Maymester is the only one where you go for the entire month and you're with a faculty member. And usually they go to Australia. So if you're a science student, like you're doing chemistry or biology, or you want to go to med school, you would love Australia because a lot of students from PC go over there and study the biodiversity. And then a research study with a professor. So lots of times if you're working on something and you have an idea, you can go to a professor and say, hey, I got this idea for research. Are you willing to sponsor me on it? And they'll work with you and get it done. So that picture is actually, his name is Clay, and he studied how grain can be shipped efficiently to the ISS, the International Space Station. He got the South Carolina NASA scholarship for his research. And actually this year we had a junior named Tori who got the same scholarship from NASA for South Carolina. And she is studying how the plate of gravity interacts with spacecraft in space. It's a little bit complicated, and I'm a pretty nerdy guy myself. I like space, and I don't quite understand it, but it's serious stuff. So that's 2 students who have received the NASA scholarship here in South Carolina in the last 10 years. All right, let's talk application. So if you haven't started your application yet, our application is open right now. There's 3 ways to apply: through Common App, through Coalition App, or directly on our website, beyondtheblue.org. And this is what our incoming class looked like last year. So our freshman class had the average GPA of a 4.17 on the weighted scale, an SAT of 1,145, and then a 24 ACT. This is just the middle 50%. There is 25% below this and 25% above this. These are not requirements to apply and be accepted. This is just the average accepted student So just for a resource. But we are a test optional school at PC. We've been test optional since 2013. So if you're unable to take the SAT or the ACT because of COVID, you don't need to send in a score. And if you feel like your scores don't reflect your academic ability, you don't need to send them either. So we've always felt that, you know, you're more than a test score. If you are strong in the classroom and your GPA reflects it, but your SAT score and your ACT score aren't exactly where you want it to be, don't send it to us. That's totally up to you. But if you're close to this or you're in the average, definitely send that to us, because that's a good look. All right, so there's 2 deadlines to know about for PC application. The early action is December 1st. That is a non-commitment application. And then regular decision is February 1st. So PC does not offer early decision. That is the application that schools will offer you sometimes. And if you are accepted, you have to go there. You're committing to go there. We do not offer that. Each one is non-binding. So the benefit to applying early action is when we start looking at applications here in about early mid-October, you're going to get your decision from us in about 2 weeks from the time you submitted your application. And that way you have your decision from us, you have your scholarships, your financial aid in time for the spring. That way, when you're planning your college decision, where to go, you have your options out on the table. And you've spoken with me or one of our other admissions counselors to talk about what we can offer you. Regular decision, you get your decision in about a month. So there's no advantage admission-wise to applying early action. It's purely just to make it easier for you in a time-sensitive manner. So we require you to fill out the application. It takes about 30 minutes, send in your transcript, and then we have 3 short answer questions in place of an essay. So our short answer questions are, why do you want to attend PC? The second question is, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? That tells us a little bit about your personality, and we can learn a little bit more about you depending on what you pick. And then the third question is a very strange question that you might not expect on a college application, but we're the Blue Hose. We're a little quirky here. So we want to know if you think a hot dog is a sandwich, and we want you to defend your answer. And the reason for this is a couple things. Obviously, it's a goofy question, but we're goofy people here. We're Blue Hose. And then the second thing being, the college search can be super stressful, and you can give you some anxiety. So we wanted to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, let you have some fun, and argue a ridiculous point, like if a hot dog is a question, hot dog is a sandwich question. So encourage you to do that. There's only 3 short answers. Get about a couple sentences each is good. And then recommendation letters are optional, but those look good. Get those if you can. Resume looks good. We have a COVID-19 question as well that is optional. You don't have to answer it, but we want to see if there have been any positives to come out in the last several months for you in all of this mess. And then your test scores are optional. A personal statement is optional as well. So like I said, our application is open right now. It is free to apply all the time. And the deadline for early action is December 1st. Deadline regular decision, February 1st. All right, scholarships and financial aid. So at PC, we award $24 million available to you in merit-based scholarships and need-based financial aid based off the FAFSA. So FAFSA opens October 1st. PC is pretty generous with its need-based aid, so even if you're thinking you might not get any, I encourage you to submit to FAFSA anyway. But everybody at PC gets a merit scholarship package, and how that is awarded depends on your merit, obviously. So your GPA, your test scores, your application as a whole is your application for your merit-based scholarships. So here's what they look like, broken down into categories. The lowest tier is $10,000. The highest tier is $25,000. Everybody gets one, and they stay with you all 4 years you're at PC. So these are the main scholarships that we offer. And how it works is when you get your decision that you're accepted from PC, about 2 weeks after that, we'll send you a letter telling you which scholarship package you've been awarded. And then after that, once the FAFSA is open, we'll award you need-based aid. And then you'll have your entire bill from us about what to expect. And if you're one of my students, I'll be calling you. If you're another admissions counselor students, they'll be calling you, and we'll walk you through how much it's going to cost you out of pocket to come to PC. We're very transparent through the entire process. Some other scholarships we offer: Lawrence County for our residents here in Lawrence County, Boys Girls State Scholarship, a Legacy Scholarship, an Alumni Referral Scholarship, and Emerging Church Leader. Those last three, the Legacy, Alumni, and Church Leader, they do not stack. You can only get one of them, but all of these stay with you all 4 years you're at PC. So if you don't qualify for Emerging Church Leader Scholarship or Legacy, I encourage you to go talk to your high school counselor and ask if there's any PC alumni who work in the building, and then go ask them for a recommendation letter. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to give it to you because it's a small school. Our alumni want you to come to PC. And Emerging Church Leader, same deal. If you're an active church member, ask your church leader to write your recommendation letter, and we award you $1,000. The deadline for those 3 scholarships is December 1st. That's very important to know. If you want those extra scholarships, that's December 1st. All right, net price. So net price is the key word here, and it's essentially your out-of-pocket cost when you're going to college. So be sure to ask this at every school you're applying to. What's the net price? So your net price is you take your tuition, you take your room and board, you take your meal plans, you take everything there is to go to the college, and you subtract your scholarships and you subtract your financial aid that you're awarded. What you're left over with is your out-of-pocket cost, your net price. So we get asked all the time, PC is a private school here in South Carolina. Is it as expensive as the other private schools? As you can see by this graph from College Navigator, it is, and we're on the same ballpark as those public schools, but we're a lot more affordable than those private schools in South Carolina. This is from College Navigator. It's a website for you to compare colleges side by side, look at costs, scholarships, graduation rates, retention rates, all that good stuff. I encourage you to use it on your college search to find out more information about the schools you're looking at. But PC's net cost for the average student, for the average applicant, is $19,778, which sounds like a lot, but we have lots of students who get a net price that's much lower. Like I said, PC is very generous with its need-based aid. So I think that you will find Presbyterian College financially competitive with some of the other schools you're looking at. Okay, 95% of students are employed or in graduate school within 6 months. We attribute this to several things. Number one, being a small school with small class sizes, great faculty. 2, the extensive support network that you have from the faculty, the alumni, and the staff here. And 3, those internships, those study abroads, and those research programs are really where the magic happens, especially in your senior year. If you do one of those, lots of times students are offered jobs before they graduate from those programs. A couple of those alumni who benefited from those programs are Patrick Greer, class of 2015. He was a business major who did a lot of event coordinating here on campus. He did his internship at Disney World, and they hired him right on. He got an offer before he even graduated, and he's working there now. Kristen is a pre-vet major, and she did her internship at the Greenville Zoo, which is my neck of the woods. If you've ever been to Greenville, there's a zoo there, and there's an orangutan at the zoo. And in 2017, Kristen did her internship at the Greenville Zoo, and she threw a birthday party for the orangutan as part of her final project. And if you're from the area, you may remember this. It was a pretty big event here in Greenville and Spartanburg, and the entire upstate. Everybody was invited to come to the zoo that day and see the orangutan on its birthday. Skyra Pogel, class of 2003, also a business major. She did her internship for Nat Geo. She got a job there and is now their vice president of strategy and consumer marketing. She won 2 Oscars for her work on Free Solo. If you've never heard of that before, it's a documentary on Disney Plus about a guy who free climbs without any kind of safety equipment. So if you're like me and you're afraid of heights, maybe not your thing, but if you're kind of an adrenaline junkie, you might enjoy that. But she's in the middle there. She won 2 Oscars for her work on there. We're super, super proud of her. And she highlights what it is to be a blue hose. All right, so that about wraps it up for my presentation. You guys can follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and you'll find out about important deadlines, events, stuff like that. We do have a virtual tour available on our website, and we are hosting in-person visitors. So if you're in the area or you want to come visit us, we are open. We're giving tours. We're having information sessions in person, and you guys can come see PC yourself. But if you can't, there's also a virtual tour, virtual information sessions. My information is available on our website, beyondtheblue.org. If you have questions that you want to ask later on, I encourage you to send me an email or text me. And with that, I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and I will check in the Q&A. Don't look like there's any questions right now. So I will pass it on over to Adam to wrap it up here. And if you guys have any questions about PC or something that I covered, please reach out to me. My name is David Greenberg. I'm an admissions counselor. Our website is beyondtheblue.org. And if you go to our team, you'll see my ugly picture over there and my information to contact me with questions. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming. I really, really appreciate it. And good luck this year with school. If you guys are juniors or seniors, you know, there are better days on the horizon. And if I could give you one piece of advice during this time for seniors navigating the college landscape, it's talk to your admissions counselors, talk to your guidance counselors at your school, ask questions, just maintain an open line of communication, because your guidance counselors are your biggest resource, and your admissions counselors are gonna help you out along the way. And with that, I am finished.
All right. So thank you for joining this session this afternoon. After you close your window, there should be a 4-question survey that will appear. We encourage you to fill that out, as it will be valuable feedback for CACRAO and StriveScan. Also, sign up for more sessions via the CACRAO website at cacrao.org. And a recording of the session will be available at the CACRAO website. Take care and have a wonderful afternoon.